up, everybody? This is Kevin, and you're listening to Minorly Important, the podcast where we talk about minor league sports. I'm here with my co-host, Dylan Little. Dylan, what's going on?
Hey, man, not much, man. Just living life, working, having fun, raising two crazy little 3-year-olds. Yeah, not much, man. How about you? What's going on?
Nothing much. Just, work. Kind of getting ready for the holiday season. Between that and my sister just had my nephew this morning, so pretty awesome.
Ooh, congrats,
for her.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congrats, Kevin.
Who's that?
We're also joined here by Ryan Baker. Ryan, how are you doing? What have you been up to since our last episode?
Oh man, I'm great, Kevin. Thanks for asking. So I've basically just been working, hanging out, enjoying the trading card business, and watching a lot of sports.
Yeah, and then we're also joined here by none other than Colin Scholl. Colin, what's been up with you?
Oh, nothing much, just trying to get through the work week every week. Every time you start work, it seems like the week goes by slow, and then the weekends just go by so fast.
Fast.
So fast. And
Too fast.
Blink of an eye, and it's already gone, and it's Monday. But other than that, I'm just ready to spend some time with my family for Thanksgiving on my side and my wife's side as well. So.
Oh, sweet. What are you cooking?
A little bit of everything. I do prefer ham over turkey, though.
Hot take.
All right, quick poll.
100%.
Quick poll. Ham or turkey? We already know what Colin's is. Ryan, what do you got?
Ham.
Dylan?
It depends on how the turkey is made. If it's a dry turkey, I specifically, I really enjoy a ham in comparison. But a good juicy turkey, I can't pass that up. It's good.
So my turkey recipe is I've been told is fantastic. What I do is I spatchcock it, which is where you lay it flat, cut down the chest, and splay it open. And then I take apple juice, butter, and bourbon. I inject it with that, let it marinate. And then I take butter slices, apple slices, and shove them up under the skin so it fries almost that skin. And then I just kind of keep marinating it with that with apple juice throughout the smoke. So that's
What's
how I
your
cook.
What's your guys' favorite side though?
Stuffing all the way.
Stuffing's good.
I mean, I'm a big fan of green bean casserole. You can never
green beans good too. That's good.
Yeah.
I just love everything.
Green bean casserole.
All right.
Mac and cheese, man. Anything mac and cheese related.
Yeah.
with potatoes.
Mac and
cheese.
All right, but dessert.
Dessert.
You
gotta go with pumpkin pie.
Gotta get that pie. I'm not a big pumpkin guy, but apple is usually pretty good.
Yeah, apple for me, for sure.
Yeah.
Pumpkin belongs inside of a pumpkin.
Agreed.
Chocolate cream pie.
brother.
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
That's a good one.
We are from Indiana, so sugar cream pie is also a big.
I mean, that's good too.
Super true.
Yeah. Unfortunately, tonight we're not joined. James couldn't be here tonight, so we are sad that he's not with us. But he will be back. He had a busy night, so couldn't be here. But we're here to talk to you tonight. So we're going to start tonight off with talking about some news around minor league sports. And I think Colin's got some stuff coming to us from the NBA G League.
Yep. So if you guys did not hear, G League call-ups to national teams. Ivan Gandia got called up to the FIBA AmeriCup, playing for Puerto Rico, and he currently plays on the Mexico City Capitans. And another player, Tristan Odosa, Maine Red Claws, got pretty much called up to the Netherlands. That's pretty cool. All these G League guys are going back to their roots and playing for their original hometowns. So.
That's awesome. Like we said in last week, we'll be covering some international stuff, especially when we've got minor league sports guys representing their country. So that's pretty awesome.
For sure.
Yep.
Anything? And then I also heard Tom Hankins got his 100th win for the Mad Ants.
That is true. That is true.
Shout out Tom. We Tom is a friend of ours because we all three of us worked at the Mad Ants. So shout out Tom, congratulations, great accomplishment. And then any other news out of the NBA G League, Colin?
So we're gonna look at the Central standings. This is the Showcase Cup right now. So in the Central we have Iowa Wolves sitting at number 1, 7-1, followed by Motor City Cruise, Sioux Falls Skyforce, and number 4 Grand Rapids Gold. Those are the top 4 teams right now. Now we're going to look at the East. Greensboro Swarms leading the way at 4-1, followed by Westchester Knicks, the Capital City Go-Go, and the College Park Skyhawks. In the South, we have Oklahoma City Blue leading the way at 5-1, followed by the Austin Spurs and the Mexico City Capitans, which is the player Ivan Gandia, AmeriCup. Mexico City Capitans. So his team's leading the way at 3rd place right now, followed by Rio Grande Valley Vipers at 3-2. So those are the top 4 teams for that. And last but not least, we have the West. San Diego Clippers sitting at 4-1, followed by Stockton Kings, the Valley Suns, and the Salt Lake City Stars. And those 4 teams in the West, in the top 4, all have 4 wins. So it's sitting pretty close in the West as of right now.
Sweet. And then that Showcase Cup kind of mirrors the NBA's mid-season tournament, so that's pretty cool. I think they started that in the G League first, and the NBA liked it so much, I think they started their own. So kind of cool to see the G League get to try things out and it move up to the NBA.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
And then I also think that in the G League, something worth talking about is the controversy wrapped around Bronny James. I think it's kind of I'll give my hot take here real quick. I don't think it was fair to pressure him into trying to go straight to the NBA or even the G League. Agreed. I think he should have stayed in college a little bit. Colin, do you have his stats pulled up right now as of the recording of the show?
I can tell you from what we talked about previously already, 5 points in 40 minutes. And who knows how many turnovers, who knows how many missed shots.
That's his average, right?
That is his average, yes.
I mean,
I'm
happy that he got to play with his dad. Like, I think that's cool, but like
it
shouldn't have I don't think he should have been pressured into that. Like, and I think I don't even necessarily blame. What?
Right. I was gonna say, just let me say that his college stats, I don't think he should have been drafted where he was. Personally, there's so many other players out there that aren't named LeBron James Jr. that played better and didn't get drafted. You know what I mean? Like, they signed deals later, maybe, but they didn't get drafted even in the 2nd round, which is a crying shame in my opinion. But that's just me.
Yeah, I don't think
Kevin.
he should. Oh, you're good. I just don't think that, like, I don't necessarily even blame his dad. Like, I blame the media and like people around him pushing for him and his dad to play together. And
blame
I think
the hype
first.
Yep. And I think that was unfair to him. I don't think it was fair for the media to put the pressure on the Los Angeles Lakers.
And so much pressure on Bronny. Like, you can't expect him to have 1 year of college and him go straight into the NBA and be as good as his dad was when he just went straight out of high school.
Right.
The game
I think most of the pressure was, if you're the Lakers, like, if we draft him, dad's gonna stay. So I think that was a big thing of, if LeBron was going to think of going elsewhere, anything like that, the Lakers are thinking, we keep LeBron happy, we're going to have him as long as he can play. So they definitely, obviously, that's the main reason they went after Bronny James, because no other teams were interested.
Yeah. Right. What round did he go in? I don't even remember what round he went in.
I think it was like late second.
Yeah.
It wasn't very early. But
2nd round, that's still early, though. Come on.
Yep.
There's so many other good players. There's so many other good players.
That was my whole point.
Their first pick was Dalton Connect.
Perfectly needed. That dude's a monster.
Yeah,
dude's
he's
a
doing
monster.
Great.
He played for Tennessee, and anybody that knows me, I'm a big Kentucky fan, so we're pretty good rivals with them. And man, those games were intense last year when we played against him. So big ups to him. I think he's killing it right now.
So, all right. Well, that is the G League. And now we're going to move over to hockey because hockey is definitely in full swing. We're going to go over the ECHL and the AHL. Dylan, you've got standings for the ECHL right now for us?
Yes, sir. So we got the Eastern Conference. We got Florida, what is their names? The Everblades. And then we got the South Carolina Stingrays at second, and Wheeling Nailers at third, and Norfolk Admirals at fourth. And then we got the Western. We're looking at Toledo Walleyes, boo. Then we got Tulsa Oilers in second, and then whatever the KC Mavericks are. I'm assuming Kansas City. I'm not sure.
Yes,
I don't know.
Yes.
And then Wichita Thunder at fourth. Overall in the league, we got Florida at the number 1 point, 12 wins and 3 losses. Yeah, so unfortunately, our Comets are sitting 5th in the Western. So hopefully they can, bring it up a little bit.
Last time I checked the standings, they were in the top 4 in the league. These games this past week kind of just was not their time.
Say league right now, they are 11th in the league. So
all right,
we'll see. We'll see.
It's early. The ECHL is also, something in minor league sports we all know is call-ups. So you get called up from the ECHL to the AHL because somebody from the AHL got called up to the NHL. It's just, it's kind of hard in the middle of the season, but we'll probably talk about that on an episode at some point. And
the other thing teams have to deal with in the ECHL is if they have a farm team connection to an NHL team from the AHL. Right now, the Comets are dealing with a goaltender situation. Unfortunately, the goaltender that started this past weekend, he is last out of 50 other goalies, so he's number 51. Mm-hmm. But he's a rookie. He's from the Oilers farm system, so we got to give him time. I'm sure he'll get there. It's his first year being pro.
Yep.
But other than that, there's nothing you can't really do because they expect you to build this guy up for them. For the age.
Yeah, and that's the opposite of basically what I was saying. You have to deal with people being sent down. So you could have a goalie that's well primed, ready to go, and then you get a goalie sent down from the AHL, and you need to play them because they need that experience, and that's the whole point of farm teams. So,
yep.
So agreed.
And then
occasionally
Ryan,
you get a really good player too. So
So,
sure.
But. Well, Ryan, you got the AHL. What do you got for us?
All right, jumping to the AHL and their giant list of teams. Got the Hershey Bears looking in first place, followed by the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Then you got the Charlotte Checkers in third, Providence Bruins in fourth, Hartford Wolfpack in fifth, Springfield Thunderbirds sixth, Lehigh Valley Phantoms in seventh, and the Bridgeport Islanders in eighth. Going to the north, you got the Laval Rocket in first, Cleveland Monsters in second, Toronto Marlies in third, Rochester Americans in fourth, Bellevue Senators in fifth, Syracuse Crunch in sixth, and the Utica Comets in seventh. Not to be confused with the Fort Wayne Comets.
Right.
Yeah.
They spell it weird. They spell it with the C. I don't know.
It's like they're spelling it wrong or something.
Weird. Then you got Grand Rapids coming out in the Central in first, Milwaukee's Admirals in second, Texas Stars third, Rockford Ice Hogs fourth, Iowa Wild fifth, Manitoba Moose, that's the greatest name ever, in sixth, and the Chicago Wolves rounding out the Central in seventh place. Going to the last division, the Pacific, we got Calgary Wranglers in first, San Jose Barracuda in second, the Coachella Valley Firebirds in third, Abbotsford Canucks in fourth, Colorado Eagles, former ECHL team in fifth, Bakersfield Condors in sixth, Ontario Reign in seventh, Tucson Roadrunners in 8th, everybody's favorite San Diego Gulls in 9th, and the Henderson Silver Knights in 10th. So not a good run for the old affiliate.
Oh, and can we just give a shout out to Bakersfield? Go Colin Chalk. Go Colin
Yeah.
Chalk.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Funny story about Colorado. Colorado has the Kelly Cup and refuses to give it back. So they had
Yeah,
to
VFG.
get a new one. So,
What?
yeah, you didn't know that, Dylan?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So
Yeah, back when
they
they
won
won
the,
it before they got jumped.
Yep. That was the same year they
Yep.
wiped the Comets out before the finals. That's when they had
Yep.
Michael Gioli.
Yeah. So, funny story there. So, all right. And then I've got some news in the USL Championship final. The Switchback beat Rhode Island 3-0 and won the USL Championship League. So, congratulations to the Switchbacks.
Congrats.
Well done. I know the score doesn't really show it, but it was a hard-fought final, and good luck to everybody next season. So that's going to wrap up our coverage on USL, except for big news and stuff like that. But that was a good accomplishment for the Switchbacks. Congratulations on winning this year.
For sure.
So with that, we're going to go into our actual what we're going to cover tonight, and that is minor league sports in video games.
Hey,
Exciting.
So,
I'm excited.
yeah. So, I remember my first time experiencing minor league sports in a video game. I got my first Xbox to really start playing modern sports again from none other than Colin.
Yes, sir.
Colin hooked me up, great friend. And I played NBA 2K, and it was the year that the Mad Ants were featured in the storyline.
That storyline.
I was so excited about working or playing that game. They kind of gave Fort Wayne not the most accurate representation, but we'll cover that here.
Yeah,
here in a little bit.
horrible representation.
Mhm.
The only
Oh,
thing
yeah.
they featured was Coney Island. That's about it.
And I don't know if they knew that or not.
But
But
they probably didn't.
But I mean, we have a bunch of different games that now have minor league sports in them. I think FIFA always had like European, like every other country's like minor league sports in them. I could be wrong on that, but then I think MLB The Show was the first one in American sports, and then NHL started that. So both the AHL and the ECHL are in there for us, as well as other leagues throughout the
International teams too. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And then 2K took over that with the Mad Ants. You were kind of forced into that one team for there, but then I believe in the most recent ones, if you have the next gen stuff, you can pick to start in the G League as opposed to going to college, and you can pick between like 4 or 5 teams. I could be wrong on that, but that's my understanding. So I just think it's cool that like minor league sports are featured in video games. And I know we've all Colin, you and I, and Dylan, you've been a part of this when we've played NHL online. We've taken the hit on our potential by playing as the Comets on online versus other people. Colin,
I did such a good job on those jerseys too. I spent hours on those jerseys.
Oh no, I'm just talking about actually picking the Comets, like against like NHL teams.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's a
little different.
Not as easy, but we did
fun. Beat the Penguins that one time.
Oh, dude, that was so good.
Did.
Yeah,
dude, I remember that.
Dude, Colin, you, me, and our other buddy, we had down to where you can we'd come up on a 3-on-1 and be able to just keep passing it back and forth until somebody had the open net and shooting, and we got so good at that.
Yeah, those good old one-timers felt like Alex Ovechkin out there.
Or my favorite one is Colin, where you two would be down front, and I'd just come in from the blue line and get a clapper going, and one of you would rebound it and put it in.
Or just lay somebody out. That was always the best part of those games.
Sports video games are so fun.
I remember Ryan was playing season mode for the ECHL the first year that the Comets were in NHL. And good old Cody Soul, Ryan decided to win the face-off, give it to Cody Soul, and slap it from one side of the ice to the other, and he actually scored a goal.
Well, yeah, like he was just overpowered in that game. You know, you would just if you were in the offensive zone and won the face-off and just slap shot right away, he was scoring 9 times out of 10. But yeah, I ended up hitting a full ice shot with Cody Soul with the goalie in the net. It was I have it saved to my Xbox Live account. It was the craziest thing.
And you know what's funny about that? You know, he actually did that in game too, but the net was empty, of course.
Yeah. No, and then like I remember one of the cool things in 2K when I was playing as the Mad Ants. Every other stadium you'd play in when you play road games, they just have the in sound or the in arena music going. But when you played as the Mad Ants, and keep in mind this was only our second season, I believe is when it came out, they had a drum line in there, and it was like, oh crap, guys, we're in the video game. I mean, it wasn't our recordings, but it was a drum line playing, and clearly they were trying to emulate us. So
2K tried. That's all right though.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But like, if you notice, even 2K is like making sure that teams with a drum line have drum line audio in their stadiums.
From previous years, the thing that they try to do most is the authenticity of every arena and every team.
Yes. Well, they're even down to like most of the NBA has the actual announcer, the in-arena announcer, doing the recordings in there.
That's even better, in my opinion.
Now, what was really cool is NHL would have Doc Emmerich and Eddie Olczyk actually say give Fort Wayne Comets stuff and like talk about the team and say the actual names. It's like that was super cool. The attention to detail there, and I am more likely to play as an ECHL team than I am to play as an NHL team.
Absolutely.
Not always on online versus, because it does put you at quite a disadvantage because they do level those guys down to where they actually are. I mean, because it's not the NHL, but
they
it's
mess
still fun.
The overalls of the players.
I wish you could set it up that it would be ECA, like the leagues would match. It would match you to another ECHL or equivalent team. But I've certainly done season mode. It's quite fun. I remember one time getting a hockey bag in NHL and getting the Comets jerseys as my ultimate hockey team. Yeah, well, no, all 3 of them. I somehow landed all 3 Comets jerseys as my hockey ultimate team, my HUT team, as their jerseys.
Can we just talk about how cool? I know we keep going back to hockey, but can we just talk about how cool the Comets alternate jerseys are this year?
Oh yeah, the all black ones.
They are so cool.
So sweet.
They did a really good job on those jerseys.
I mean, I wanted an all black jersey, and it kind of started when I saw Cincinnati's all black jerseys with the red trim and stuff like that. I do like those jerseys. And then Indy has an all black one too, I think, right?
Yeah, it actually looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah. See, like, I mean, and the other thing I like is that the Comets now for their white and orange jerseys actually have orange helmets.
Yes, absolutely.
Which I like those a lot.
I'm kind of on the other side on that. I don't know if I dug the black helmets personally, but to each their own.
Yep. The Spaceman jerseys were probably the coolest that they ever had.
Agreed.
Okay, so I didn't get to the game this year. I haven't been to the Orange Lid game yet, but do they match? People are saying the oranges don't match.
It's different. I went to a game last week. Actually, we were playing Cincinnati. It's a good game. We won 6-1. It was quite awesome, but it seemed a little off. I couldn't put my finger on it, but maybe that's what it was. Because it could have been a different hue of orange, but I don't know.
Yeah, because I went to I think it was like the first like Saturday night game they had, like not the home opener, but the week after, or 2 weeks after. But they were wearing black, so I didn't even notice it. But the thing I saw on the Facebook pages was people going off that these oranges don't match. And I'm like, well, that would kind of get. I guess that could get like some people could get annoyed by that, but
right.
Yeah. Have they? I haven't played the new NHL game, but have they allowed you to do a dynasty yet with an ECHL team?
No.
Because that was the biggest
I
thing.
haven't played the new one yet. I haven't played 25.
Yes, like you get season mode and then it's over. But the other thing that kind of made me mad was, I mean, I found it hilarious, but you could sign like legit NHL players to your
from free
agent
NHL team.
I had the last one I had was right after Taze, Joe Thornton, and I'm trying to think. I can't remember who else, but I had all of those guys on the team. On the comments, which is hilarious, going back to James's story about asking Joe Thornton if they'd want to play on the comments. So I sent it to him. I sent the roster to him after I did it, and he's like, "Well," and that was after. That was after he had told me the story, but it was like almost like the next week that after he had told me that story that I did it. I'm like, "Look, I made your story come true."
Dylan, how chippy was that Comets game you went to?
Oh man, it was crazy. Like within the first couple of minutes, we had like a mini brawl, like 4 or 5 guys going at each other. But like all game, man, there were some crazy fights. But the last period, it was probably maybe 3 or 4 minutes till the end of the game. What's his name? Number 37 is like Turcotte, I believe. Yeah. Is his last name. He and the other guy, they dropped mitts, and he just went straight right hook, and he dropped to the ice. He got up real quick, but man, it was a quick, just one hit the ice, and they just went at it. And at the end of that, he skated over to the other bench and just rubbed his hands like he's like all done, and then he just went to the locker room.
Oh yeah,
because he knew he was. But it was awesome. It was awesome.
He's a very. What's up, Kevin?
I was just gonna say that motion is our favorite after fight in NHL.
Wiping the itch juice from my hands is what I would say.
Yeah. But man, it was awesome. Like we got lucky because my wife works for the local bank in town, and they have access to the Budweiser suite. So we're up in the suite, which was nice. But yeah, it was really nice. So it was a fun game. First game I've been to since the boys have been born. They're 3.5 now, so it's been a while.
Catch that hockey itch now.
Yeah, man, Oliver was all about it. I guess I should probably not name my kids, but he was all about it. He wanted the red team though, Cincinnati, because his favorite color is red. So he's just like, "I'm with the red team to win, Dad." I'm like, "No, we're rooting for the orange team."
And now you're walking
he's like,
home.
"Don't do that." Yeah, right.
I mean, you're only a few miles away from the Coliseum.
Yeah, not even. Probably like a mile, if that. But
let's talk about that number 37, Turcotte. I mean, as soon as the Comets, as soon as Daniel Amesbury didn't sign with the Comets again this year, they needed to find a new tough guy. And I feel like Turcotte was a really good signing because the dude can play. He's got goals already. He's got assists, but he still puts up the penalty minutes when we absolutely need him to. So
for sure,
he's a very big asset to the team this year. I feel like, because I heard from people who went to that game, like Cincinnati was just beating on all the small guys the entire time, and that's why 100%. There was that's why there was so much violence that pursued during that game.
And that is why fighting should stay in hockey. You have to defend your stars.
Agreed.
Yeah, because you get rid of fighting, there's gonna be so many more injuries of your better players are gonna get taken out.
Exactly.
If your best players get taken out, nobody's gonna go to your game. Like now, if Connor Bedard gets injured, nobody's going to a Blackhawks game.
And did you notice that when he did get injured, that Nick Foligno broke his hand defending him?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we don't cover the NHL, but I am so glad that he got named captain, because Uncle Nick is referred to has been a great tutor to Connor Bedard. I'm a Blackhawks fan, so I'm a little partial to this, but I think like you, yeah, I know you're a Red Wings fan, but
Go Ducks.
no,
Go
like,
Wings.
Quack,
Go
quack.
Wings.
Ducks fly together.
I will
Get
say,
outta here.
Ryan, the Ducks in the '90s had probably one of the coolest jerseys ever.
Best
No,
jersey.
the
Their new
best.
one-
The best.
Their new
I
ones
don't
are
like the
their new
black
ones
and
are
orange on it though.
awesome.
I miss
that's
the
fair.
old teal
That's
and
fair.
purple.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad the comments came back with the old classic Fireball.
Oh heck yeah, man.
Yes.
Yep. I didn't
But
like having the name written down. Like it would have been okay on like either the black or white, but I wish like heck they would have had one of those had the Fireball back on it. And I'm glad they didn't. I get it. It was a cool kind of throwback look, but I think it should have been an alternate and not a primary.
Actual. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But-
let's switch it up here a little bit. So I mean,
Mhm.
G League jerseys, those are pretty cool on certain nights too. Remember when the
Yeah, they
Mad
got
Ants?
those.
Remember when the Mad
We've
Ants had
gotten
the
way off
had the-
topic here.
yeah.
Yeah,
remember
we
when?
have.
Remember
That's
when
okay.
Remember when the Mad Ants had the Wakanda jersey, the Black Panther jerseys?
Oh yeah, those
Oh,
were
dude,
sweet.
those were dope. Those were dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were sweet. Those were awesome.
All right, Kevin. So what's
No.
the topic?
Yeah.
It was video game or minor leagues and video games. But I really wish that 2K would let you play like just a game as the Mad Ants or do like a Mad Ants
Right.
season or a G League
Yep.
season, I guess I should say.
Mhm.
And I wish MLB The Show would let you play all the way down to single A. Now, right now you can do
Yep.
double and triple, but I wish single A was an option there.
Right.
Yeah, because we can't get the
and
Mad
then-
Ants on MLB yet, or not the Tin Cap. Sorry.
Tin Caps. Yeah, no, I would have loved to have played for the Tin Caps and MLB The Show. But and then I wish USL was included in FIFA. I guess it's not FIFA
It's
anymore.
not FIFA anymore.
It's
Yeah.
what did they change it to? Oh, I know.
Let me look. I have it's on my
Soccer is hard.
PlayStation thing.
Soccer is hard. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
FC. EA Sports FC.
Yeah, that's what it is.
All right, yeah. No, but like, I mean, I get it. The more leagues and more stuff you put in, you have to program stadiums, jerseys,
Mhm.
player names, player profiles. It would be nice.
But
at least in
it's- Sorry, go
at
ahead.
least
They
2K.
just pay their likeness.
Yeah, at least 2K like to somewhat catch up to NHL and MLB The Show. At least have that next tier down.
Yep. And I
Mhm.
think
Mhm.
because most of the sports games nowadays, I don't know if you guys have noticed this at all, but it's mostly just copying.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
I will say NHL has been recently doing a good job. Shout out EA for adding more things in there. Like recently they added in that you can dump a guy into the bench. You can
Yeah.
break the glass, which is hilarious.
Yes.
I see.
Yep. They made it. Thank goodness they fixed the fact that if you poke check, it's not almost an automatic penalty.
Automatic trip
Goodness.
every time.
Every time. Goodness, I haven't played in forever, but
That's the one thing you remember though, every time.
yeah,
Oh, dude.
100%.
I
Yeah,
I
can't
remember
poke check.
texting you, Colin, one
Right.
day. It was like, guess what? NHL fixed the poke check.
I was so
So,
excited. I was so
Yeah,
excited.
I think you ended up buying it after that one because you were tempted not to. So
Yeah, I mean,
But-
that was the last one I bought because I
Yeah.
think they should make, because you got FC on computer,
Mhm.
you got Madden on computer, you got 2K on computer, but you don't got EA Sports NHL on computer. I think they need to
No.
release it.
Madden
listen.
hasn't put. Go ahead.
They're getting rid of a lot of computer sports games like college football. You know, I don't believe they've gone to
Oh.
computer yet. They're strictly console because, you know, us console people don't want to be playing you guys and your 800 buttons that you can click to do crazy things. Well, we have to hit
And
3 buttons at once.
It's mostly for the cheating, because you can cheat easier on computer too. You can mod the
Hey,
heck out of
cheaters.
anything.
Dang. No, like I think that it's super cool that they've been adding in minor league sports more and more into video games. I will go dive deeper into that 2K1 where they made Fort Wayne out to be this town that literally had one place to eat in it
Cornfields.
and all
Yeah.
cornfields.
My goodness.
That's not inaccurate for some Indiana towns.
Right.
However, Fort Wayne
Fort Wayne
is the second largest city in
yeah,
Indiana.
it's the second largest city in Indiana.
We have multiple minor league sports teams. We have one of the largest arenas, which they did get the arena almost accurate in there.
True,
But
They got the airport right. There's nothing there.
And they did get one of Fort Wayne's biggest eateries in town. Whether they did this on purpose or not, they pretty much copied Coney Island. Shout out Coney Island, one of my favorite places here in Fort Wayne.
Good stuff.
Very good, very good. But I remember watching one of the cutscenes, and I'm like, this looks like Coney Island. And then I pulled up a photo of Coney Island and put them side by side, and everybody's like, I remember talking to my wife, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, that is Coney Island," and it was great. But no, like minor league sports, like it gives you a connection to that game. I mean, being able to play as your hometown team, and for me, knowing like, oh my gosh, I get to play as Patrizelli. Like Patrizelli is one of my favorite Comets players. Sean Zablowski, another one of my favorite.
For sure.
Yeah, like I remember there are some games where I'm like, I want to make sure these two score. These two score all the time. Like I made it a little unfair. I would sacrifice goals to make sure those guys scored. But the one thing I wish 2K would have done is make the rosters on the G League like actual players.
Like during the story mode.
Yeah. Had they actually been Mad Ants players?
Yes, that would have been good.
Yeah. A funny thing about I remember in 2K you get traded for sandwiches, and it was like I don't think you can do that.
No, you can't. They could have done so much better with that story mode.
Oh, I know.
No, you can. It's under cash considerations.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I didn't think about that.
So it'll happen in baseball all the time. Like there's legitimately stories of players getting traded for a bucket of baseballs.
That's
and then
hilarious.
they just put down the monetary amount of that bucket of baseballs. Like let's say that bucket, because baseballs are expensive. They're like $6 a piece. For at the MLB level, like that they pay for it. If we buy them, they're like 15. But like they'll put down like, oh, there's 100 balls, so we trade them for $600. But it's legitimately a bucket of baseballs.
Which that reminds me. So the Comets when they make trades, they always do trades for cash.
Well, yeah.
Because they never try to get any other player out of the trade unless they absolutely don't need that.
Typically
player.
Because they've got a connection where they want to sign somebody.
Yeah. Or a lot of times if players get traded, they don't report.
Oh, that too. They're on suspension.
So yeah, so you'll be like, oh, they got traded to Toledo, but now they're on suspension because they just went home. They're like, now go play over in Europe now.
Now
there's a lot of players where we keep their rights if they head over to overseas. Though.
Well, that's how it is in the G League. Like, I wish the G League was like minor league baseball, where like if you are on the Mad Ants, you are in the Pacers organization, or if you are on the main Celtics roster, you are in the Boston Celtics train up. I wish like heck it was like that, because when you're in the G League, anybody can come in and go, I play for the Mad Ants, but the Los Angeles Lakers want to offer me a contract. So the Pacers are prepping you to play in the NBA, training you under their system, but then all of a sudden the Lakers pull you off that team and go, congratulations, you now play for the Lakers. Like,
and then they play for South Bay.
Yeah, and it drives me nuts. I wish like when it was set up that if you were on, the Windy City Bulls, that you were playing for like in the Chicago organization and they owned your rights no matter what. Like, I wish that was The only NBA team that you could move up to was the Windy City Bulls, the Chicago Bulls, unless like there was a trade with the other team.
Mm-hmm.
So
like,
it's like NFL practice squad. Like you can just go pick anyone. You can go be like, hey, you're on practice squad. I'm signing you now.
Yep.
Absolutely. And taking a look at the out of town scoreboard here in the G League right now, South Bay is actually playing right now, and guess who is riding the bench?
Ooh.
Good
Is
old
it Bronny James?
It is indeed Bronny James riding the bench.
I feel horrible. I feel horrible for actually riding this guy so much, but I don't know, man. If he wasn't drafted so high in comparison to his skill level, I wouldn't feel so bad.
Yeah.
But again, it's not him. I don't think it's his fault, but it's still like, my goodness, where'd this guy
It's
go?
the hype train. Like I said earlier, it's all about the hype train. That's it.
Anybody who saw him play at USC knew he wasn't that good. Let's talk about his younger brother, Bryce. That kid's going to be killing it when he gets to the NBA.
Yeah.
He's a better player than his brother is right now. I'm sorry. Hot take, but my goodness.
I agree. It kills me because you, like Colin, Dylan, you guys and I got to see so many good players that were leaps and bounds better than Bronny. We're crying out loud.
Taco Fall?
Good old
Taco.
good old Steph Hicks.
Yeah, man. Hicks
was
man,
really deserved so many more call-ups. He was fantastic.
He called up. So got called up a couple times, right?
Yeah, but I don't think he played though. It was just a 10-day contract.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a 10-day. Or good old Justin Anderson. Good old Justin.
Justin. Yeah. Anybody that can't see right now, but he has bobbleheads of these two players he's mentioned. I have one or two around here somewhere. But.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Ryan?
If you look at the draft board from last year, Bronny James went 55th overall. Now there's only 58 players drafted in the NBA draft. Okay, so he got drafted over 2 international prospects. But like looking at the guy, Trey Alexander from Creighton, who was a stud, went undrafted. Jamison Battle from Ohio State went undrafted. Like looking at these guys that went undrafted, it's like, Bronny James would have signed with anybody. I just don't understand a lot of these guys that went undrafted, and I don't know. Bronny James getting drafted over him. And I get he had the injury, he had the medical event that really kind of held him out at Stanford or at USC, and maybe that's why he didn't play a lot. Maybe it was hey coach, I'm only playing X amount of minutes. But I think there's just a lot around that. I don't want it to become like the Ball brothers type deal where you have one that's really good and the other one like there's an okay one and then there's the one that's just like he shouldn't be in the NBA. And I think that's what we have here.
I agreed.
Like Michael 100%. Jordan's kids. Michael Jordan's kids never went to the NBA.
Right. But we talk about Scottie Pippen Jr. though.
Yeah. Fun story about Michael.
He's on the Grizzlies.
He's on what?
Scottie Pippen Jr. is on the Grizzlies currently. He's killing it right now.
I didn't know that.
Sorry.
On their NBA team or their on the
NBA team. Yeah.
I didn't know if they were on his on the G League team.
Yeah, he played at Vanderbilt. But
fun story. Former Mad Ant Rakeem Christmas, who also played for the Pacers, married to Michael Jordan's daughter.
Nice.
So
I think you mentioned that last episode, but good antidote again. Yeah.
I do enjoy when he played for the Mad Ants our first season. Every time he scored, the DJ would go, well, I can't really do it for copyright. But it was a famous cartoon for the famous cartoon that deals with the color of an NFL team known as the Browns. Where it was their Christmas special. We'll just leave it at that.
There it is. Yeah.
You,
No,
you,
just
you can say it. We'll just edit it. We'll just edit it out.
right. But no, just that my wife
time.
is here. Anyway, I finished it. Anyway, but my wife always is like, "Where's Christmas?" Because that was her favorite player because of just that, you know.
Yeah.
So it was funny. Yeah.
I mean, and that kind of takes us back to our minor league sports and video games. I remember walking in and seeing his our like I talked about on last episode, where like you look down the bench and it's like, oh hey, look, there's a G League player that I know personally. Like I remember I set up a ultimate team in 2K, and I picked Walt Lemon Jr. For obvious reasons. Friend. And Steph Hicks, I think I picked one year on purpose. Because it's like, I'm gonna pick my friend. Like, I'm gonna pick somebody that I know on a personal level. So yeah.
Over anybody else.
I mean, and then can we also talk about how there is a corporate sponsor for the Comets that is at Center Ice? That is a fun story on how that happened. Since James is not here, I will tell you. A very famous company here in Fort Wayne sponsors the Comets. I'm not going to say their name because I don't want to get in trouble. But they're very big. They may or may not have sold some of the products that are being used on this podcast. I remember James telling me that his dad had put that company on the logo. If you go play NHL, plays the Comets, you'll see what company we're talking about. But they left their logo in their Center Ice logo. And lo and behold, NHL left it in there. So this company's logo, which is big to Fort Wayne, is right there dead Center Ice on there. And it adds to that authenticity of the game. And I think the more that they're making sure that everything is authentic, just makes it more lifelike.
Yeah, absolutely. And how cool would it be if the Comets changed their Center Ice logo to the Spaceman? That would be really cool. No?
That'd
You
be
like the
awesome.
old classic No?
Yes.
I'm a Fireball.
It's-
I'm a Fireball fan.
And we're not talking about the whiskey brand, but
I think
we're not promoting.
Now the jersey Ryan has for the Comets, he's had, how long have you had it, Ryan? Like 25 years, 20 years? The anniversary?
I have the 50th anniversary jersey.
That logo was sick.
I like the 70th anniversary logo.
Yeah. Now the 50th doesn't fit me anymore, but that's
neither here or
like
there.
8 years old. 7 or 8 when that came out, but yeah.
No, I just think
talking with friends.
Yeah. I like how we kind of went away from our subject for this episode because we pretty much covered it.
We're talking about the Fireball because that's in the Comets logo on the video game.
We're actually doing really good, though.
Yeah, one thing I did like doing on the video game is I would go back through the free agency and I would find all the guys who used to play for the Comets that were available in that free agency. So, we'd get the old guys back, like Mitch Hurd and all those guys back on the Comets.
Rocky.
So we did just have, it's like, hey, this is like all my favorite players from the last 5-6 years.
I would go through all the teams and in the AHL too, and I'd make them free agents of players who used.
Nice.
Well, or just different ECHL teams.
Kind of bummed me out because Evan Rankin from Toledo. I always wanted to have him on my team, but I could never find him in the games. So
he retired too after that year.
Yep. So he just wasn't in the game. Notre Dame grad, Evan Rankin.
Is he still? Didn't he have?
Still Notre Dame grad? Yeah. Weird.
Didn't he have the? Doesn't he have the record for like most games as a walleye played?
No, I don't. I don't know.
I thought he held some kind of record for the walleye.
He played there for a long time.
He did. Fun fact:
I think
Justin
Hawkins-
Hodgman used to play for the Toledo Walleye before he came to the Comets.
Gross.
The second or third time.
I think Hawkins has like every Toledo record right now.
Yeah, miss that guy. But he's better off in Toledo.
Yeah, I just find it weird that he never got called up to the AHL. Like,
Yeah,
like,
weird.
He's so good. I mean, kind of
Yeah.
like Sidlowski. So
There were so many. There during the bachelor party, the goaltender for the Columbus Blue Jackets that was starting that.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was cool. That was cool seeing.
Spencer,
And of course on
Spencer Martin, right?
Yep. And of course the day we went there, he was there. He started in net for the Blue Jackets.
Yeah. Nope. I remember, and then he lost 4-0.
Yes, he did indeed.
And like I said, I wish like heck that we could go back to like have the different leagues all included in every video game. Like,
Absolutely.
I wish like heck, because I love playing as the Comets. I loved playing as the Mad Ants when that option is available. I really wish like heck we could play as those single A teams because putting a team like the Tin Caps, who shout out Tin Caps, have one of the best rated minor league ballparks in all of minor league sports. Like that stadium is fantastic. Like
and I have a feeling Fort Wayne FC Stadium is going to be fantastic too.
Oh, I can't wait! I can't wait to have some of those guys on there. Just wait. We have some great guests lined up. Like I told you last episode, I'm not gonna shout out names yet. But we may or may not have a player agent that is going to be on here. I know that he's already agreed to be on the show.
What league?
So hockey.
Oh, okay.
At least the ECHL. I think he's also AHL. I'm not positive. And
I think you dropped his name last podcast. Honestly, on accident.
No, we talked about it. It was not during recorded.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Guys, like some of the guests we have lined up for the show it's gonna blow your mind. Like some of the people we have on here.
It's gonna open everybody's eyes to minor league sports.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And I am very excited about it. It's gonna be good. So I can't think that I can't think of any better way to bring minor league sports to you than some of the guests we have lined up here. But all right, but it looks like we're running out of time. We do have a story that we're going to close out the show with. But then real quick, because even though this episode is going to come out after Thanksgiving, we are recording this prior to Thanksgiving. So I want to give all of us a chance to say what we're thankful for. And I'm going to start with yours truly, Colin Scholl.
What I'm really thankful for is just everybody being a part of my life, you know. I'm really thankful for my wife. You know, I don't think I could get through the work days if it wasn't for her, you know, always talking to me and, you know, motivating me to get up in the morning when I don't really even want to wake up and not wanting to wake up to my alarm clock. Amen. I feel like I wouldn't be in the position I am in now if it wasn't for her. So big shout out to the wife. I feel like I don't give her enough credit sometimes, but I'm just going to throw it out there on the podcast because she's just an amazing
woman.
Yep. Ryan, how about you, bud?
Man, you know, I'm thankful for my dog. You know, a lot of people, it's hilarious because like, my wife and I, we do not have children, but we do have a dog named Mac, and you know, Colin is very familiar with Mac. If anyone ever sees the cover of Cedar Street's albums, you will.
Thanks for dropping it on the podcast.
On the podcast. Colin Scholl's band Cedar Street. Any of their albums, it is Mac. But I'm just thankful for my dog. Like, you know, I don't have kids, so I come home and my dog's always happy to see me, and if the day at work was rough, I can just go home and hang out with my dog and throw a bone to him. And yeah, so really just thankful for my dog. And I guess I should say I'm thankful for my wife as well, because she cooks a lot of good food, and definitely is definitely a big part of my support system as well.
Awesome. All right. Well, Dylan, what are you thankful for, bud?
Man, Allie, let's see. For sure, my wife, the rock of everything right now. Like, so many times where, like Colin said, I was like, I'm gonna roll over and not go to work today, and then she kicks me, like, get out of bed, go to work, and I'm like, all right, thanks.
But in a nice way.
Yeah, of course, always a nice way, always. It's helpful. But then, yeah, I got the twin boys that drive me insane some days, but I obviously am very happy and wouldn't change a thing, because they are a blessing and amazing.
I love your twins, bud. I love your twins. Man, every time I get to interact with them.
And they're the reason. They're the reason why you wake up every day, literally.
Amen,
not just
brother.
Your wife, your
all three of them.
Amen.
Your wife
amen.
And your
100%.
And your boys.
Yes, sir. Well, how about you, Kevin? What are you thankful for?
I am thankful for a lot. Like all of you, I am. I can't shout out my wife. My wife.
Amen.
I thank the Lord every day for her. I can't thank enough for her. I am a type 1 diabetic, and there are days that it's just difficult to maintain some of that stuff. I know every diabetic, typically we all try to say, oh yeah, I'm taking care of myself. There are days that it pushes on me, and it causes a struggle, and she helps pick me up at those points. And there are days where it's stressful, and she picks me up at those points. And I just cannot think, sweetheart, I know you listen to all of our episodes. Like, you are my rock. You are the reason I get up in the morning. And I just can't thank you enough. But I'm also thankful for all of you guys. You guys are all great friends, and I know James isn't on here tonight, but thank you, James. You guys are all great friends. Have all been with me through times and bad times, and y'all pick me up. I am thankful for my career in sports. My career in sports has been great, and has helped me live out a dream of being in athletics with, and as I said last podcast, I'm kind of small, so very thankful for those opportunities, and just feel very blessed with all of the opportunities I've had. And I will speak for all of us, all 5 of us here on this podcast, especially James, who's not here tonight. We are thankful for you, the listeners. We are thankful for you guys. We are the reason we do this. We want to bring your minor league stories to light, and we want to make sure that your teams are spotlighted, your stories are spotlighted. We want to talk about your teams, because we know that normally you only get to hear them from somebody from your organization. We want to shout out all of your teams and make those known to everybody. And with that being said, we did get a submission tonight for from Daniel from Alabama. We're going to close out this podcast with he sent us an audio message about some cool experiences from his experience down there from Birmingham, which is going to be the video, or you're not it's a video, but the audio is fantastic. The story he gets to tell about some of the stuff they're doing down there with their Birmingham baseball teams. It's cool. So I'm going to let him tell you the story. What was that, Colin?
Oh, I was just going to say, like, Birmingham baseball is different.
Yeah, for sure. And it's some of the cool stuff that they do down there is just amazing. So
my story with minor league baseball is growing up in the Birmingham area. I went to a lot of Birmingham Barons games. They were our local team. They were AA in the minors, played in the Southern League. And went to a bunch of games growing up at the Hoover Met, which was like just outside of town. They always had a bunch of fun stuff for the kids, but the main thing I remember was going to the Rickwood Classic every year. They did this game at Rookwood Field, which is the oldest functioning baseball park in America. And it was always great because they would do the old style uniforms. They'd have a band out to play behind the home field, behind home plate, and they also would have them dress up in the old uniforms. Like, they would make it very much something like out of the old days. They would do like the old scorecard numbers out in the outfield on the wall and everything. And then they did have the All-Star game there one year for AA, for the Southern League, and they did the home run derby out there and everything. It was fantastic. But me and my dad especially loved going out there all the time because that park is still a really good representation of what the old school parks were, and also it's just a great piece of history with how much of like the Negro League baseball stuff was played there with like the Black Barons and everything, and just the amount of people that came through there that ended up having a really big impact on baseball later. I think I had a really good experience getting to grow up and see all that and get to go to those games regularly. And, I think the city of Birmingham is better for it too. I think the thing that the city of Birmingham is usually known for is Michael Jordan playing there for about a season and a half when he decided he didn't want to do basketball for a little bit. But I think that time and those experiences were fantastic, and I wouldn't trade it for growing up anywhere else, honestly. It's fantastic.
With that,
thank you, Daniel.
We hope you all have a great Thanksgiving, a great time with friends and family. Like I said, I know this is coming out after that, but we wanted to make sure that you all knew that we wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving from our families to yours. And in the meantime, as Colin so graciously said last podcast, cue the music. This is minorly important. Thank you, guys.
Have a good night.